In spite of doing so much throughout and working so hard, still, by the end of the day, most of the times we feel that we have not been enough. Something somewhere at some point of the time happens which makes you feel bad about it. Why I'm saying bad? Because you start putting yourself in that blame space. Let's talk more about it. And welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Navpreet, your own life coach and master trainer. And today we are going to talk about a very important issue which we all face at some or the other point of time, that is feeling guilty. Let's first understand what is this feeling of guilt. Now, in our day to day lives, now I'm a mother, right? I scold my child at that moment, in the heat of the moment. I scold her, and then after some time I feel bad about it. I should not have done that. I had a fight with my friend, and in that heat of the moment, maybe I shouted, I lost my temper, and said something which I was not supposed to say. And later on, yes, I feel bad that I should not have done that. You had a fight at your workplace, or maybe you prioritized something over the other thing, and you felt that I should have gone to the other place and I should not have prioritized this over the other. So there are many situations in our day-to-day lives which put us into this fix where we are not able to decide that whether we did good or bad, but we end up putting ourselves in that situation where we start blaming ourselves that I am not enough or I was not enough. I didn't do this right. I should have done it in a better way. So, this is how we develop the feelings of guilt. And if we do not address these, then they keep piling up over time, and then it leads to the bigger problems like stress, anxiety, imposter syndrome, right? So, you start feeling this thing over and over again, and you do one thing, you feel bad about it, then another thing you do, you again feel bad about it. So all these things get piled up in layers, right? And obviously, when all these layers they become a big heap, then it becomes difficult to process, right? Now, how we can actually overcome this feeling of guilt, this we'll be talking in a few minutes. But before that, see, we all need to understand that we all are different. What I am today or what you are today, it's not the contribution of just one factor. It is a contribution of multiple factors around us. Our genetics, our family environment, our social environment, right? And what kind of education we have, where have we stayed, what kind of friends do we have, how is our interaction with our relatives, with our day to day acquaintances, right? All these things make you what you are, how you behave, how you respond, how you interact, how you talk. All these things make a difference. So it's not that if a person is behaving in a certain way, you should start judging that person. And the same thing goes for you as well. So if you have behaved in a certain way at some point of the time during your day or in few months, please don't blame yourself for that. Don't directly jump to judge yourself for that, because we need to do a little homework before we do this. Okay, you need to identify the situation. What made you behave in that way? Now, I give you a scenario that there is a family function at your place where you're supposed to be, and when you were leaving from your office or from any of your workplace, then suddenly you get a call from a friend, and the person is in problem. And you feel that if you will not help that person now and then it can create a big problem for him or her. So, what you do? You prioritize. to be with that person, to help out that person, and you were not able to reach for your family function. Now you tell me, did you do right or wrong? So many a times we have to understand, we have to identify our own situation the first before we look up to or wait for others' responses, what they are going to tell us, they are going to blame us, they are going to say that I'm not good or I'm not enough. Before we do that, we should identify that the decision that you took at that point of time, why did you take that? So identify the situation, right? Now if you are able to identify the situation, then you will be able to weigh your priority, what you were supposed to prioritize over what. And again, sit with yourself and analyze the situation, and if you are able to think through straight, that means you are free from that feeling of guilt, right? So what we need to understand is that everybody is in some or is in a situation, right? And we should develop this attitude consciously of not judging people of what they are doing, how they are doing, when they are doing, because you don't know everybody's story, right? And when we develop this kind of attitude for others, we also start thinking the same way for ourselves. Or it may be, I mean, the other way around. First you be self compassionate, and then when you will look at others, you will also feel the same for them, right? So these little things will keep happening in your day to day lives. And also, when you are able to identify that what is it that is causing this feeling of shame or guilt in you, and you note that thing down, you make a mental note of it, or maybe you write it on a piece of paper. That means the next time that kind of situation arise, either you will be able to weigh it properly, or you will be able to avoid it altogether, so that you don't get that feeling at all, right? So this is how the things work out. Every problem has a solution, every question has an answer, and where does that answer lie? That answer lies within you, right? Now what we need to do, first thing, please identify if you are a victim of being guilty often and you're not able to come out of that loop, then what you're supposed to do, start journaling. Journaling is a very effective way of overcoming some of these day to day emotional burdens that we carry, right? So please note it down that what are those situations or what are those things that make you feel guilty often. Okay, keep adding to your list. Now once you have put it down on paper, next time you enter into that situation, your mind will automatically direct you to that piece of paper or your journal where you wrote it down. And obviously, you would not like to go through that phase again because you don't want to feel bad again. Either you will change your strategy to address that thing again, I mean, how to address that you will change, or you will completely avoid. If it is possible to avoid, you will completely not get into it, right? Or you may try to improve it. Like, for example, again, once, like, I had my birthday and I was in college, and my mom, every year she used to celebrate my birthday, right? But that year I decided to stay celebrate with my friends and I didn't come home, though I could have come home. And my mom felt bad about it. Yeah. At that time, maybe I was not aware that what I'm supposed to do, but now I am. And I am guiding you all here, or maybe I'll be able to help you in these kind of situations. So for parents, children are very important, and the important days of children, again, parents like to celebrate, they love to celebrate. But as we grow up, we start prioritizing our friends over family. Yeah, it is natural, there's nothing bad in it. But we should not we should not be in a continuous phase of ignoring our parents feelings also. So what you could do, you can celebrate with your friends as well, but do find out some time to celebrate with your parents also, so that you do not carry that feeling for long. You will be able to overcome that feeling because you have devised a solution for yourself, right? Okay, so the first thing is journaling. You should be writing down what you feel. Every emotion is important. Whether it is a bad emotion or a good emotion, every emotion is important, and it is very much important to identify that emotion and stay with that emotion. Feel it. Okay, once you have identified, now you have to be more compassionate with yourself. You don't have to judge yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up again and again for the same thing. You will say to yourself that, yes, I have identified this issue, I'm working on it, and I will overcome it. Next time I address it, I will be more cautious, I will be more careful, I'll be more mindful. Say it to yourself, and you see the difference. You will be able to overcome that, and you will be able to sail through much more smoothly than you had done before, right? Now, again, so we need to understand that emotions are important. Identify the emotions, work through those emotions, be self compassionate, and show that love and care to yourself. And become friendly with making mistakes or entering into these kind of situations where you may feel guilty. That's okay because it is a part of our life. And until and unless we are not making mistakes, how would we know that what we are supposed to do? So it's okay, you make a mistake, you improve that, and then you move on. Next day, you will make another new mistake. So, again, improve on that, identify, improve, or strategize, change your way of addressing it, and move on. Right? This is how we grow, this is how we evolve. Right? So, all these emotions, they should be providing us with a lot of energy to overcome so many situations that we may address in our day to day life. Okay, so let's be friends with our emotions, let's be friends with our mistakes that we do, and let's be in a learning mode always. Because when you have this kind of mindset, you become more resilient, you become more approachable, right, by life comes to you naturally because now the energies in the universe, they start relating with you as a person who is very strong minded, positive, optimistic, and can overcome any issue whichever comes up. So if you fall in this dungeon of guilt and shame often, then this is what you need to acknowledge and understand for the next time. So watch this and let me know how much benefit you will gain or you think it is beneficial for you, and do post in a comment so that I can read and know that how much this video is benefiting you. I'll see you again with another informative video. Till then, be happy, be healthy, stay calm, stay cool, and just keep rocking. I'll see you again. Bye bye.